All right, so could you please give us your name?
My name's Ray Lancaster.
And when and where were you born?
I was born November 15th, 1945 in Surrey, England.
England, nice. Okay, so can you tell me about your childhood and your teen years? We can start off with school. How was school like?
I was pretty smart. I was pretty smart in school until they started giving homework. And I didn't know you were supposed to do that.
You didn't know that?
No, but back in those days, you did what you had to do. I did, all kidding aside, I got good grades. And I got what I had to do. I didn't overachieve, I didn't try to overachieve, I just did what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know.
Is that how everybody did it?
No, we had some kids that all they did was study.
Mm-hmm.
But I played ball, played a lot of ball, played football, I played basketball, and I played a lot of baseball. And I did all the things that I was supposed to do in school.
Were the schools bigger or smaller?
I went to a small county school. I'm originally from Lafayette, and I would have gone to the high school in Lafayette, but my parents moved to the country, and I went to what we call as a country school, small school.
So how was your family like? Was it large, small? Can you tell me about that?
Well, I got siblings, sometimes called brother and sister. And they're both younger. And my brother, he was a good athlete and did well in school. And my sister, she did. I was gone by the time she was in school, so I suppose she did all right. Yeah.
Did you were you raised in like a farming community or more in the city?
I was a city boy.
City boy.
But I was raised in the country and worked on farms. I showed cattle when I was a kid. Went to the county fairs, went to the state fair, did those kinds of things. I showed cattle for other people, and I showed cattle for my. I worked for a dairy farmer when I was a kid, and he gave me a calf one time, and I groomed her and trained her and took her to the state fair, and did pretty well. Did pretty well with her.
So what was the fun things to do for teens around that time? What did you do for recreation?
Played ball. Went to the show. Went to McDonald's when there was 15 cents a hamburger, and French fries were a dime, so you could do that. It didn't cost hardly anything to go to the show.
Mm-hmm.
You just had your friends, and that's what you did. Not like today.
Mm-hmm. Did a lot of people in the teenage around you work, or was it a lot of people didn't work? You more like just worked on chores in their families?
A little bit of both. It seemed to me that the kids who had money didn't work as much because of the parents. But we all worked. We all had chores. We all had things we had to do. I worked. I played ball. I worked part-time in jobs. I worked on farms in the summertime. I baled hay, plowed, disced, all those kinds of things that working for farmers.
Mm-hmm. And so, compare that to today's society's teens. Would you rather be raised, if you had the choice, would you rather be raised back then, or would you rather be raised now?
That's a tough question. I mean, it really is. I would not want to be 13 or 14 years old today in the society the way it is today. It's just a challenge. It's a bigger challenge, different challenge. It was so much more simple when I was younger. But we didn't have all the things you got today.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have it, so you can't, you know, we were poor, but we didn't know it. You know, I know that makes sense to you, but we didn't have everything. We just didn't have it. You can't, you know, my dad, he worked for a company back in the 50s. He made $30 a week. We got by,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
So if you had the choice to be young again, or to put that behind you and stay the age you are now, what would you choose?
Well, everybody my age is going to say that they'd like to go back to where they were and know what they know today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's tough. That's just an asinine thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy the way I am. I've had a good life. I've done the things I wanted to do. I was successful in things that I did. Uh, Made a few mistakes, and survived with that.
Well, thank you for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.